Welcome to another edition of the Coach Daboll Show presented by Ford. I'm Bob Papa. The Giants travel down to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Here's what's on tap for this week's show. Sean O'Hara is going to go one-on-one. Carl and Coach go inside the film room for Above the X's and O's. Carl's got strategy with the coach's tape. We'll hear from Bruce Beck, all that and much more. It's with great pleasure we welcome in the head coach of the New York Giants, Brian Daboll. And Coach, obviously another road division game. We got Carl Banks by my side. What was the messaging to the team after that tough loss against Washington?
Yeah, look, there's certain keys each week that you got to hit. And red zone was one of our keys for that particular week, and had a number of plays down there on the offensive side and some plays on the defensive side where Ertz is an issue in the red zone. Inside breaking routes, stack, and they do a nice job of executing it and put a unique personnel grouping in against us. We had a number of opportunities inside the 5. So coaching, playing, we all got to do better of hitting our keys, and that's the message.
Coach, new week, new opportunity, right? It's you dwell on it just enough to get the corrections and you move forward, right?
Absolutely. So 24-hour rule. I think you're very honest about how you played. What are the things you need to get better at? There are certain things we did well, but then there's a number of things that we need to improve on to give ourselves a chance. 14-6, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Not the amount of points we want to score. Sometimes you're going to have games like that, have to find a way to be able to finish. We need to do that better.
Talk a little bit about Dallas, and they have a new defensive play caller. It looks a little different than what you've faced the last 8 games you've played them. What do you see from an Eberflus type defense?
Yeah, I've known Matt for a long time. I've known Shotty for a long time. I've worked with both of those guys. I would say they play fast. He doesn't do a lot on early downs. There might be a single blitzer here or there. He's more of a zone defensive coordinator, kind of spot drop, if you will, fast flow. Usually one more than you can block in the box. That's what they try to do against Philly, and did a pretty good job of the run game, which you could tell that was something they wanted to get done. But again, I think they play fast, plays with good technique, flow to the ball, and they know what to do. They do it at a high speed.
Coach, when you look on the other side of it, Dak Prescott's numbers are not off the charts from that Philadelphia game. But if you watch the game, and obviously you watched it critically, he was on fire. I mean, he there were some drop passes in there, but he looked like he was in complete command with the way he was playing the game.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job of staying in the positive as an offense. Over 65% of the time, it's advantage offense the way they played the game. Running the ball, use some actions. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. He's been that way for a long time. I think Brian's done a good job, at least in this first game, of, they're kind of in sync in terms of the run action, the openers, and getting certain guys, the ball, whether it's CD, which we know what CD is, but Turpins and Pickens and, talented guys on the perimeter.
You have familiarity with CeeDee Lamb. It just seems like each year he's adding more and more to his repertoire. His route running seems to be even more crisp than it was last season.
Yeah, and he lines up in a multitude of spots, so he's a hard guy to tackle. I think he's one of the top receivers in the league. I think he's shown it year in and year out. I was a big fan of him coming out in college and the way he played. And every year, like you said, Carl, he's improved. And again, wherever he's at, that's probably where a good chance the ball's going to go.
Coach, we appreciate the time. As always, best of luck this week.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, these two will head to the auditorium and break down some film for you, Above the X's and O's. All that and more here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Time to send it over to the auditorium where Carl Banks is with Coach Daboll for Above the X's and O's.
All right, Coach, let's take a look at some of the positive plays that you had. A couple guys stood out on Sunday, and you hope to build on that and get more guys, working in that same direction. Who do you have first here?
Yeah, so 3rd and 5, kind of in the fringe area. And we come out and high red zone, if you will, move neighbors a little bit. They shift. We go ahead and give an alert. Bobby sees the alert, so he checks to, their split safety coverage, if you will, and they try to get out late. Third downs will be critical. He's doing a great job of just feeling the space, Wandell. And it's quick operation by Russ. It's good spacing all the way around after they go ahead and alert their defense out of whatever they're alerting out of. And then tight turn by Wandell, 2 hands on the ball to get us into the red zone, which is, one of the areas we've talked about that, it was a big part of the game. We have to do a better job of finishing drives with touchdowns in the red zone. But, it's a well-executed play. Then, smart here, they go ahead and they get one where they slam, Wandell down pretty good. And, what I like is our linemen coming up and, doing a good job of protecting their teammate, but not overdoing it where we're going to get a 15-yard penalty as well.
All right, this is the end zone look here.
Yep.
Is this a numbers game now? Once they start to check in your post-snap read, you've got a lot of numbers here to Russ's right. And so it's a cluster of players, but a cluster of defenders there.
Exactly right.
And then the math says you're going to have a lighter area there?
No question. And you can see where Luvu is right here. He's up into the line. So now he's got to get back to his space. And they're spot dropping, reading the quarterback. It's just an easy pitch and catch right here, particularly I would say where that initial inside linebacker is. The space available to throw the football to the left-hand side of the formation is good.
So let's take a look at the next play here. What do we have?
All right, so we got 1st and 10, the end of the third quarter. This is a big drive for us to go ahead and get a stop. This is 1st down, and they got, a 3-by-0 set, we call it, or a 1-by-3, some people do, with the back off set to the strong side. So they're trying to entice, a fair amount of coverage over to this side with an added post safety, kind of a 4-on-3 look, so they can get numbers to the nub side, nub meaning the tight end's tight, and there's no other receivers outside of them. We have Bobby over here on the edge, and we're bringing him off the edge, Banksy, which now we're moving these defensive linemen at the snap on the pressure. So they have pretty good numbers, I would say, but, Kayvon starts out wide, tightens down a little bit. We stem up the front. You can see Abdul changing his alignment. We'll look at it from the backside here. I'd say Dex does a great job getting off on the ball and beating the center's back block. So the center is responsible for Dex. The tackle's responsible for Roy. The tight end is jab stepping just to hold him to create some space to go get the second level linebacker, Darius. They're trying to kick out the defensive end, Abdul. He's boxing it, physical at the line of scrimmage, meeting him behind the line of scrimmage. Kayvon is ripping through this tackle. So Dexter really and Abdul do a great job of resetting the line of scrimmage, because this puller right here for the guard, that's not his responsibility to block Dex, but he's got to go ahead and do it. They actually have him up on the corner, and then they got some space right there. But controlling the line of scrimmage, mixing in some movement or run pressures, if you will, I think this really helped us on early downs, getting them to 2nd and long, and then we got to do a better job on 2nd and long of making it 3rd and long. It was really well executed for us.
And just the fact that the runner gets the ball and all he sees is blue shirts.
All he sees is blue shirts.
Because he really has he takes one step and the play is over with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The more you can make a back stop his feet like this in the backfield, in the running game, the better off you are. Population to the ball equals good things. Now we got to start, finishing on the tackles and getting the ball out.
We're just getting started on the program. When we come back, Sean O'Hara goes one-on-one, plus Carl Banks with the coach's tape. All that and more here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Drew Phillips is going into year number 2 with the Big Blue, and he went one-on-one with Sean O'Hara.
Thanks, Bob. I'm down here on the field for one-on-one with Drew Phillips, presented by New York Lottery. Drew, thanks so much for taking the time.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Always great to see you. Year 2 for you right now. How has this year been different for you mentally?
Mentally, I feel confident. Going into this year, it's one of those things. I had a year to kind of feel it out, go play ball. And this year, it's like I'm trying to take the next step in leadership-wise as well as on the field. So I feel a lot more confident going into this year.
tough road loss against Washington to start the season. You had a phenomenal play. 3rd and 1, Deebo Samuel, they run him in motion. You run with them, they throw in the ball, you make an unbelievable tackle to get off the field, right? Get the ball back. It's 14-6. That felt like the play that could turn the game around. Take me through that play, pre-snap. Were you expecting him to run in motion? And once he started going in motion, did you know what was about to happen?
Yeah, so through like the film study and stuff, you knew that Daboll was their motion guy. So he was the back guy, I had him the man, and he came and kind of hid behind the tackle. So I kind of was watching film and I expected it and just grew from where I'm at now and just ran full speed and I made a tackle.
You were kind of at linebacker level, and then when you saw that he's going to go in motion, now you backed up so that you could clear the linebacker?
Yeah.
And then how did you know that he was going to run? Basically, it becomes a foot race, right? So they sent him in motion to get him a head start, and now he's trying to get ahead of you.
Yeah.
At what point did you know, like, all right, this is a foot race, I got to turn on the jets?
The second the ball snapped, I seen his body move like that. I mean, I full on booked. I don't even think I looked at him until he got out the other side. I was like, I know where he's going. I just booked it full speed, and I was trying to get the ball, but I got tackled for out the field.
Great tackle. Let's kind of turn the page forward now. Let's look towards this week. Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Another tough week, right? We had McLaurin and we had Deebo. Now this week we have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. How are those two receivers different?
You know, they bring so much different stuff to the table. With Dallas this week, with Pickens especially, it's his body control and how he can track the ball in the air. It's unique. It's unlike any other receiver. And then you got CD. He can do it all. He's savvy. He knows how to run routes, and it's kind of his show. So you have those two guys, and they're separate from what we've seen last week with the motion and shots guys. So it's a different task, but we're ready for it.
How much do receiver hands play a part in a route? A lot of people talk about late hands as a receiver, because if all of a sudden my hands are up, now that means the ball is going to be there.
Yeah.
See that, right?
So that's really important, for especially like down the field. That's why guarding the late hands is so hard, because you have a guy who'll be running, and let's say you're in trail position and he's running, you don't know when the ball's coming. You're looking at his hands.
So if I'm running a go route right now and you're trailing,
and I'm right here
running right now, you're waiting for me because your back is to the ball. You're not looking. You're waiting for me to go like this.
Yes, and then you just shoot.
And then now, are you trying to just get the ball out of my hands, or are you trying to knock the ball out of the air?
For me, I'm more of a stabber, so I'm trying to come through and reach this other arm and then rip through the pocket.
And pull it, rip it out. Gotcha. All right.
You can miss the ball, but you can't miss an elbow most times. So.
Yeah. Well, Drew, looking forward to seeing you guys in action down in Dallas. Good luck, and thanks for the time.
No problem. Thank you.
We've got much more to come on the program, including Bruce Beck inside the locker room, Carl Banks with strategy, all that and more here on the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Welcome back to the Coach Daboll Show, presented by Ford. Giants and Cowboys this week in Arlington. What's going on in the locker room? For more on that, we send it over to Bruce Beck.
Thanks, Bob. Wan'Dale Robinson had 6 catches to lead the Giants in the opener against the Commanders. And Wan'Dale, how do you want to build on that?
Obviously I want to continue to play well, but as a team, we want to just continue to move forward and try to come out with a win this Sunday.
Russell Wilson said that you need to have a short memory and you have to go forward and forget game one. Yeah. Do you buy that?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, in this league, whether you win or lose, you got to forget about it. It's a whole new week coming in and a whole new team that you're playing. So you got to continue to come to work each and every week and show up on Sunday.
How much confidence do you have in your quarterback?
I got all the confidence in the world. I mean, we worked all spring and all summer, all fall just to get to this point. And I know last game wasn't the best for all of us, but we're going to continue to work and put out a good showcase on Sunday.
Last year, you had 8.2 yards per catch. How do you increase that number this year?
I think part of it's just getting down the field a little bit more with some of the routes and just making sure that I'm catching the ball at or behind the line of scrimmage all the time. But and also just making sure that I do the things that I do with the ball in my hands when I do get the ball and just try to make everything out of it.
What is it like playing with Malik Neighbors, and does he give you advice, and do you give him advice both ways?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're always talking, me, Slay, Lee, Jalen, we're always talking about what we see out there, whether he sees something that I could have done in a route, whether I see something. We're always trying to communicate and just make each other better.
So what do you want Giants fans to know about this offense, especially when you get in the red zone and have an opportunity to punch it in?
We gotta score points. I mean, there's no excuse for that. We know exactly what we got to do. We got to go out there and execute and put points up on the scoreboard.
Wan'Dale Robinson led the NFL last year with 34 catches on third down. That's being clutch, by the way. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Carl, now it's time to dig deep into the coach's tape, and strategy is brought to you by Microsoft Copilot. And Carl, we're going to take a look at the incomparable CeeDee Lamb.
Bob, here's the thing that you got to know about this Dallas Cowboy team. They're different coaching both sides of the ball. But CeeDee Lamb has gotten better and better with his route running each and every season. And you'll see here just the subtleness of his route running. I'll stop it right here for a second. And I'm going to circle the outside leverage here by the cornerback. He does not want to let CeeDee Lamb get outside of him. So he's playing outside in. And just the subtleness right here where CeeDee Lamb gives him a little bit of a juke and he thinks CeeDee's going inside, he manipulates him and he's outside, breaks the leverage just like that. Just the subtleness of his route running, big game.
Carl, we're going to take a look at another play of CeeDee Lamb helping his quarterback, because on this play, this ball could have been intercepted.
Yeah, but this is more about this guy right here. Dak Prescott, it's about his movement and his ability to escape and keep his eyes down the field. And this is just worth running on slow motion here, Bob. Here's the rush. He's all the way over to one side, but his eyes are still down the field. Now watch when the defenders come at him. There's one guy swiping. His eyes are still down the field here. Keep going, another guy swiping. Never takes his eyes off the downfield, and then that CeeDee Lamb, his old reliable, that's able to bail him out or to help extend the play.
All right, well, now we're going to take a look at Dallas's running game. They've got some young first-round draft picks on the offensive line. They added Williams, who was an outstanding running back as a rookie with Denver. He's dealt a bunch of injuries, but the Giants had better bring their hard hats.
They do, Bob, but here's understanding how they want to run and understanding the type of running back that he is helps you a great deal if you're the two linebackers and the edge guy. Understanding that if this is a back who likes to run downhill, your outside edge guy will be able to take chances every once in a while. So you'll just take a look. Let's just take a look here at this play. Handoff, one back. Here's the thing. If you're an inside linebacker, it's one back. If it's a run, he's getting it. So this is a fast read for both of these linebackers. So ball snapped. He should be right where he should be. He should be right where he should be. Now, they give you a little window dressing to try to seal the edge here on the back. You see the tight end come in, motion comes in, comes back out. He's trying to seal the edge here, because he wants to give the illusion to this guy that there's a possibility of a cutback. But as you can see, he's running downhill. This guy's got to get here. So understanding the blocking scheme and the type of runner that he is, and when he goes downhill here, you've got to be able to fill it.
So they get a nice gain on the play, and they force the safety to come up and make the tackle. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. And Carl, obviously, Micah Parsons isn't there anymore. They traded for Kenny Clark, number 95, who's predominantly a run stuffer. They get pressure on Jalen Hurts. How'd they do it?
Well, number one, these guys, they're middle linebackers. They play fast, right? But they bring an extra guy off the edge here just to occupy the running back, right? So you keep the running back in, and it's just good, consistent, balanced rushing, right? No one's out of balance here. You bring another guy here, you got a guy here, and all guys are accounted for. So Philly's saying, well, we got everybody accounted for, but you're playing an umbrella coverage, so you buy time for your pass rushers to get to the quarterback because no one's open.
Yeah, so good job by the secondary, and then Marshawn Nealon and Kenny Clark jump in there and get a piece of.
And it's important. I'm going to get to the end of this because there are two reads. The first read, I'm going to run it right, freeze it right here. First read is here, Devontae Smith. He's going to be there. The second read is going to be the other receiver. So you got their two main receivers. They're taken away with the umbrella coverage. Quarterback has to pull the ball down because there's just nothing there.
So that strategy with Carl Banks brought to you by Microsoft Copilot. And Carl, some final thoughts here on the game. The Giants obviously need to play better than they played last week. Dak Prescott has really owned the Giants over the years. What do the Giants have to do better this week in order to have a chance to win the game?
It's easier said than done, but it's attention to detail because you'll go back and look at last week and see that there were plays to be made, right? There are plays that were missed just by lack of execution. Do your job, and the success will come off of that.
And I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see Abdul Carter because in his snaps that he got in the game, both on defense and special teams, you can really see how he can impact a football game.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to see more and more of him. He does impact the game, even in special teams.
Yeah, had a partially blocked punt in the game. This week's game is presented by Prism Trading Cards, one of Panini America's most popular NFL trading card brands. So that wraps it up for the show. The Giants and Cowboys squaring off in Arlington, week number 2. For Carl Banks, Coach Daboll, Sean O'Hara, Bruce Beck, and our entire crew, thanks for watching the Coach Daboll Show presented by Ford.